Welcome to an all-new Conformist Peach Cobbler. It's our horror podcast. I am Brad Reed. I am joined by my good friend, Nugstradamus. Actually, I meant to say Nugsferatu.
Nugsferatu. Well, let me adjust this real quick. I got to move. I'm going to take my image on Zoom and put it over your face.
Okay.
So that way, it's just like I'm talking to myself. Hey,
nice.
Handsome.
Nice. I wish I had video of what you're doing so that everybody could see it. But
no, this is just for me. This is just me talking to good old. This is Nug on Nug.
Ooh, I like it. That's kind of a sexy concept for maybe like a podcast of your own where you just talk to yourself.
2 nugs, 1 pod. I don't know.
That's it. That's perfect. 2 nugs, 1 pod. But does that help you? Like, does it make you more comfortable when you're talking basically to yourself?
Yeah. It's just like, those shower conversations you have every morning.
Yeah. Like how I used to host like my own Conan O'Brien show in the shower.
Yeah. Which, can I say real quick? I know that we're going to get to the horror and everything. But I'm sure you were a huge fan of Norm Macdonald.
Yes.
And he's in my Rushmore with, Conan and Farley and Sandler and
yeah, for
Kaufman,
sure.
And he's one of my top. He basically helped me become my delivery and any sort of joke writing I do. He's always been an inspiration to me. So
yeah,
he's truly missed. And I love that guy.
I did too. Like I was a big fan of him and the Weekend Update. I liked, he just had that sarcastic wit, and I definitely see how he influenced a bunch of us.
And like Dirty Work, did you ever see Dirty Work?
Yeah.
I can quote that movie, the entire movie. Like people do Ricky Bobby or Anchorman. Dirty Work, I can quote all the way through.
See, I got to watch it again because it's been a minute since I've seen that one. But
good.
Yeah, I do. I like.
Pour some out for Norm.
Yeah.
I don't want to get ants. I'm not going to pour any out.
Yeah. We do got some horror stuff to talk about. We'll definitely talk about Malignant. We'll talk about Don't Breathe 2. I got some fresh blood though to go over with. A couple new movies I found out about that I'm looking forward to. And I know a lot of people out there are Hellraiser fans, and they're going to redo Hellraiser. It's coming to Hulu, and it's by the guy who I can't read my own handwriting sometimes. David Brockner, maybe. But he did The Ritual, amongst some other movies.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was a good one. That was the one on Netflix where like they basically go up to the woods to do like whatever kind of thing that they do. Yeah, it's pretty good. Really good. That was a good mystery type, suspenseful type horror movie. So
was that the Wendigo? What was it was just a big monster, wasn't it?
I think so. I can't remember exactly the monster, but yeah. But he's doing Hellraiser, and that's going to be on Hulu. So you got Hulu?
I do. We do.
Oh man, have you been watching What We Do in the Shadows season 3?
I haven't been.
Do you like that show?
Yeah. I haven't watched it. No.
You haven't seen any of it? Oh man.
No.
What about the movie? Did you watch the movie?
Yeah, I watched the movie. I just haven't seen the show.
Okay. Well, I would say get caught up on the show. We need to talk about it at some point. I think you'd like it. Did you like the movie though? Were you a fan?
Yeah, the movie was funny. Yeah.
Okay.
I love Jermaine Clement. Yeah, it was good.
All right, then I think you'll like the show for sure. Different actors, like Taika, he only shows up a couple times throughout the seasons. He's still producing, and I don't know if he's writing or anything, but I think you'd like it. But yeah, that's on Hulu.
Will this Hellraiser have Doug Bradley?
I did not see if he would be returning or not.
He's getting up there in age.
Yeah.
He's pretty old now, but
I'm
he's the original Pinhead. They tried to replace him in the last couple sequels, and it didn't work.
Wasn't that on Netflix? Like those came out on Netflix, right? The
I
last
think
couple
maybe the
movies.
last one
Yeah.
did.
So now Hulu's like, we'll
I
take
couldn't
it.
even sit through it.
Yeah. There's a buddy of mine, that's the Hellraiser movies are his favorite. Where do
They're
you
one of my favorites. Let me show you real quick. I got a
Ooh.
autograph.
That's pretty sweet.
That's my homie.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. You see, we need to get sometime you to like take some pictures of all your cool stuff in your office behind you so that because you know we can see it behind you, but like there's some pretty cool stuff.
Just a 41-year-old man with a bunch of toys and horror movie stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all the, like I tell everybody, it's all the stuff that when I was a kid I couldn't afford. So now I'm like, hey, I'm balling. Buy toys.
Are you?
No, I'm not. So another thing that we've been talking a little bit about, Chucky, going to come out October 12th on Sci-Fi. I'm looking forward to that. We've talked about that before. A lot of the people are returning from the movies, so we might even get an interview with Chucky at some point. Who knows?
That's a big get for us right there, Chucky.
Yeah, Chucky.
Charles Ray.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I don't know, like, we got a few interviews in the works, so keep posted on that. October 8th, Muppets Haunted Mansion comes to Disney Plus, which, isn't like a horror movie, but it's going to be something to watch with the kids, to get in that Halloween spirit for sure.
Yeah, or you can toot your jazz cabbage and watch it if you want.
Of course I will. Of course I will. What are you a fan of the Muppets? I don't know if we've ever discussed.
I mean, not anymore, but like as a kid, yeah, I loved them.
Oh man, me too. But I'll watch anything with the Muppets anymore. It's not like it's as cool as back in the day, but still, I still like. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Just like I'm looking forward to like, there's the Addams Family. That movie's coming out pretty soon too. So. Did you see the first animated Addams Family?
I did. It wasn't all that fun to me.
Yeah, it was
kind of lost me.
Yeah, it was just okay. It was okay. It wasn't as good as the movies.
Oh yeah, Wednesday Addams in the movies. She's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. And then we had talked about, we make lists from time to time about all of our movies, and we talked about one of my favorite movies growing up was Salem's Lot. And that's the one by Tobe Hooper, who, of course, made Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And there was a sequel that we discussed that's on Starz. If you got the Starz network, you can watch Return to Salem's Lot. I tried to watch it again because the last time I tried to watch it, I was like 13. And I got about as far in it as I got last time. I was like, nah, this is stupid. And so I turned it off. And then there's also a Rob Lowe remake that came to TNT, maybe early 2000s. And it wasn't bad either. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I did not hate that one. But this one is going to be produced by James Wan, who we're about to talk about. And it's directed and written, man, I did it again. Gary something, but he directed It, Annabelle Comes Home, The Nun. So he's going to be writing and directing this version of Salem's Lot, and produced by James Wan. Does that get your Peter tingle up, as we say on the Nerds to Men show?
Just a little twitch on the Peter. Actually, I saw that William Sadler is in it.
Yes.
Which I love. His death from Bill and Ted. I love it.
Yeah, William Sadler. I just made a note of that he's in it. So I think I'm looking forward to that. It's like one of those movies that I don't know if it needed to be remade because I love that first one that came out so much. But I think it'll be okay because, again, it got the guy who directed the It movies that just came out, and he did a good job with those for sure.
Are you excited about the big news about Halloween Kills coming to Peacock?
Yes, October 15th, the day it's going to be released in theaters. Here's my prediction. Nobody goes to see it in the theater.
You don't think so?
I mean, I'm not now.
Yeah,
I was
that's
going
true.
to. I was going to, but I'm not now. And
But a Halloween movie in the theaters is tradition, you know?
it's great. And you know, like I say that and then I like watch movies at the house and I'm sitting there like I wish the dogs would shut the F up. I wish that Jen would stop asking me questions, you know, like so there is like a certain kind of you know, it's better to go see it, and especially because now not a lot of people are at the theater where before you'd get like some talking kids in the back on their phones or whatever. It's not been like that the last few movies I've gone to. So what are you going to do? Are you going to go see it at the theater?
I think that's when you got to see it at the theater.
Yeah.
You go during the day and when kids are in school.
Yeah,
Yeah, get those cheap prices too.
for sure. Like I honestly wanted, like really wanted to go see Suicide Squad in IMAX.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it like 2 or 3 times at home. Like I never made it to the movie theater. So it's just so easy to watch it at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like it's going to start being that way a lot more. Just lots of people watching movies at home. And then like I think Candyman this week is available to rent on demand.
Well, that's cool.
So not a whole lot of time has passed. Remember back in the day when it would be like 6 months before like a movie was in the theater, and then before you could get it on DVD or Blu-ray or rent it.
Yeah.
It'd be forever
Now
long.
it's what, 30 days or something?
Yeah.
Less than that
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. And you know, what's that?
I was going to tell you another one. VHS has a new sequel coming out.
Yeah, and that's being done by the people at what is it, Bloody Disgusting, or I can't remember. It's like they do like blogs and vlogs, and you know, they're horror influencers basically. Do you know who I'm talking about? Who's putting this one out? This new one?
Yeah. I think it's the same guys who did the other ones, right?
I don't know.
Or is this a different group? They get a group of directors and they'll make the anthology. Just like this is called VHS 94.
Yeah. Is it on Shudder? Is this
Just on Shudder? Yeah, so far.
Okay. You know, at one time I had a Shudder account, and I told you a while back I was thinking about getting another one going because it's only like $5 a month. And for all the horror that we talk about, there's a lot of stuff that's usually available on Shudder. So
yeah, and they have the Creep Show series too.
Yeah, I gotta get that. You know, I've been looking around. Nowhere can I find Tales from the Dark Side.
Like the original like series on DVD or something?
Yeah. Or like just on like Amazon where I can watch it online or something. I bet it's on YouTube because I think I've looked up like individual shows on YouTube from it, but I remember like Monsters was on one of them, Prime or something.
It was. Time. I remember I watched a few of those.
Yeah, that was a good one.
They have on if you have Antenna TV, they have like Ray Bradbury Theater on like Saturday afternoons.
Yeah.
Sunday afternoons. I'll watch like 3 or 4 of those.
Man, that's cool. That because that's where I used to watch a lot of stuff like that was Saturday afternoons. My mom would be out doing something at the store or whatever, and I'd like, yeah, I gotta watch whatever I want. But so let's go ahead and talk about, since we were talking about James Wan and Salem's Lot and how excited I was, I want to talk about Malignant, which was directed by James Wan. And it was kind of a surprise, I think, for people that he went back to horror because he, you know, came out with, how many of the Saw movies did he do?
I know he did about half of them.
Okay.
I think, I know he did a couple that, you know, stopped and then came back and did like the last couple.
You know, what's interesting is because he did the Saw movies and then he did The Conjuring, and the movies that like where they picked up after, you know, like he left or whatever, they're just not as good to me.
He did 1, 2, 3, came back for, he did 4 and 5. No, he was producer on those. So Yeah, he just kind of sprinkled in there.
Yeah. Well, and like I say, he made the like in the list of all those movies, Saw one, and Conjuring one. He made these like really iconic movies.
Hmm.
I feel like, and so he, like I say, went to do Aquaman. He's got Aquaman 2 coming out soon. And then we find out that we get Malignant, which was released to HBO Max. I believe it was in the theater for a week. Then it was on HBO Max. And so, of course, that's when I watched it on HBO Max.
Hmm.
And I'm we're going to have spoilers, of course. But I'll just say that, like, overall, I really loved the movie. I thought it was good. I thought that the story was somewhat original. There's some things that we'll talk about here in a little bit that maybe kind of like were either tributes to other movies or just common themes because it's horror. But just a few things that, to start it off, I really liked. Like, I thought that the movie was spooky. I didn't think it was, of course, we've talked about this. Scary, just one of those things. I don't know if any movie's scary anymore. I saw somebody, though, on Twitter that was like, this is the scariest movie I've ever seen, like, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, but have you seen a lot of movies? Or,
Yeah.
but I thought overall it was decently an original movie. What'd you think?
Okay, so I'm kind of torn on this one.
Yeah.
So I watched it, and an hour and a half into it, I'm like, this is so campy and dumb and cliches and cheesy. And then the jail scene happens, and then the big reveal of the twist. And I was still like, what is happening? This is like crazy. This is
Right.
insane.
Yeah.
What's going on? And finished the movie, and then I got up and I thought about it. And I got up and rewatched the ending. Like it stuck with me. So then I started to think about it more, and I'm like, I think I really like this movie. I don't know why. It should be terrible. It's cheesy, but for something about it just sticks with you.
I think that, like, for one, we get so bombarded with so many remakes and reboots. And then, you get like The Haunting of Connecticut Part 4 that takes place in Oregon, like,
Mhm.
and then, and we've talked about Hellraiser, Chucky, things we're still looking forward to some of these things. But when we get a movie like this and some of these other movies lately, like Hereditary or something like that, that's just so off the wall for what we're normally getting, like these paint by the number type movies. I feel like that's where I appreciated it more.
Yeah, it's definitely. I've never seen it before. I mean, other than the cliches in the beginning, in the first hour and a half, you're like, oh, you've seen that before. The imaginary ghost and whatever.
Yeah.
And then she's in a jail cell with a chick that looks like Beyonce and Goldmember. And you're like, what the hell's going on? And then she John Wicks like everybody in there. John Wicks everybody in the police station, throws a chair like Jerry Springer style. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Isn't it funny though that, like, because I think we've talked about this before about other movies, and I think it applies to this one where it's like they're putting a lot more action kind of feel into some of these horror movies lately, right?
Yeah.
What do you think that's because there's like so many like the John Wicks and the comic book movies, the big action movies. So you think to kind of keep up and to stay in the mainstream, that's something they have to do? Or do you think it's just that like people are not worried about like blending genres as much?
Well, I didn't think about that, but yeah, I can see it's like it's I don't know, Brad.
Well,
You stumped me on that one.
I just feel like that is the case. Like if you're gonna try to do something that's not been done with the horror movies before, you then throw a little action like that in there. But some of the movies, like what was it, The Purge? those just turned into just not very interesting action movies. I thought this one didn't. Should we talk about the twist? We're going to spoiler, right? So
Yeah, why not?
I feel like it's, people, if you can watch it at home, people probably have watched it at home. But yeah, we kind of find out, and I started to kind of think that this was what was going on. But you got like, the twist was basically that she had like, what was it, like
she had a tumor.
Yeah, a tumor that was a brother, basically, and so it would take over. And I thought there was some cool CGI throughout this movie, and like the scenes where her settings changed so that she can see what he's doing. I thought all that kind of was like a cool thing. Like it wasn't too much CGI for a horror movie, but
did you catch the theme was "Where's My Mind"?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I kept waiting for him to really bust out with it, but yeah they had those little chords. Yeah, and so yeah, I think we had talked, like I had mentioned it in my preview for it a few weeks ago, how it was kind of billed as one of those movies where you didn't know if she was really haunted or if she's just got like multiple personalities or whatever. And then, so we find out it's neither of those things, even though it looked a lot like it throughout the first hour, like you were saying. And
man, that third act.
So the thing like that, but it's still in her. And so like comes out from the back of her head, which very, like my buddy sent me a picture of the guy from Total Recall. Remember that dude that like comes out of like the chest or whatever?
Quato?
Yeah, Quato. Yeah. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
Did you like? I kind of noticed through the film, like this dude's running weird. Like he's running backwards. Is it a time thing? Why is he reversed?
I gotta say though, the thing that did kind of throw me off a little bit, because it seemed like there was something supernatural going on. Because like when there's a scene where it escapes like through a hallway and out the side of a building, and it's basically her doing parkour like backwards. Backwards. Back astards. But I don't think that, I don't know. That'd be hard enough to do anyway. That didn't seem that, believable, but it's a horror movie, so whatever. I'm not going to pick on it too much. You know what I mean?
How about that best friend's choice of parking spots at the hospital? Did that not stand out to you?
Yeah.
She pulled up to the hospital like straight up on the cliff, like no big deal.
Yeah. It did. Like for a minute too. Yeah, I was like, man, is this gonna be Shutter Island? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Did you like that movie? That was a dope movie, I thought.
That was a good movie.
Yeah. So that's the big thing, and so then it's a lot of action from there on. Like and like we talked about, the police station scene and that whole sequence was really exciting and fun to watch. So I just thought that like overall it was definitely like probably an A minus of a movie.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, I know that it didn't do great at the box office, but again, I think that's just typical now because
I'm coming around to it.
Yeah.
My first thought was like, this is terrible. What am I watching? And then the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, I haven't seen that before.
Yeah. Critics different. Pretty much have just, they've decided it's not good, but I don't ever like agree with critics. And I mean like, because like me and you, like me and Cameo talked about this the other day. I don't feel like we're critics necessarily, because a critic would watch a movie whether they like that type of movie or not, and decide whether it was a good film and, really break it down. I watch things that I think I'm going to like or like. And then, I let people know through these shows whether or not I liked it or not. I don't expect everybody to like it. And I don't also hardly ever agree with critics. So there's that. But
from the love I saw being given online, like people are saying it's like his homage to like giallo movies, like old Italian suspense, not old. There's some current ones, but like kind of like Soho. The Last Night in Soho is going to be like this
Yeah.
crime horror Italian genre that I guess subgenre really
Which
of horror movies.
I'd never heard of till
Mhm.
people started saying, bringing it up in regards to this film, which I don't know, dude. Do you see that? Do you see that it was kind of
Absolutely,
you
those
do?
movies are weird. If you've ever tried to watch one, you're like, what the hell am I watching? And it's yeah, I can see that. It's his kind of his tribute to it, I guess.
That One Night in Soho, I think I saw a preview for that while I was at the last movie I was watching, Shang-Chi maybe. That movie looks pretty good too. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, like I say, like I just like super weird movies. Like I like Slither. I like different movies that are not, not on the regular beaten path, I guess.
So
But
this one's perfect for you then.
yeah, but if you put it up to Saw or Conjuring, I'm not going to say like it's his best movie, but I dug it.
Yeah.
There are things that I like. The old house, the old haunted looking house. I love that in any movie. That's cool.
You like the Bobby Knight chair throw?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and the people who were in it, I didn't really know like the names of the actors or actresses just from watching it, but I thought everybody did a really good job. I, I just, like I said, it's kind of weird and kind of fun. And other than that, it's probably not the best horror movie ever made, but it was enjoyable for me. So we'll go with that. And then you've watched it twice now?
Yeah. Well, 2.5 or 1.5.
You watched
yeah.
the ending, so like 1.25.
1.25. Yeah.
Yeah, but you'd still say for people to at least watch it, so
Check it out. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's if anything, it's different.
yeah, for sure,
If you can deal with the cheesiness and campiness and all that, you'll come out on the other side like, okay.
I like that though. I like the cheese in the camp. All right, let's switch to a movie that really wasn't either of those things. Don't Breathe 2. But what it was heavy on the action. We had talked about this movie before, and we were thinking that there would be like like what we call the wrestling term, a face turn by our guy here. And they really did kind of go that way. And then they made him like, like, oh no, he's a bad guy. Like he's as bad as everybody says. But then the people that he was going up against who were trying to fight him, they were even worse. They were worse for this little girl that was involved in the whole storyline. So
yeah, it's like you don't want to root for a rapist / murderer, and then but he doesn't hurt dogs.
he does not, and that goes a long way with me. That goes a long
absolutely.
way. Yeah.
He did. The dog that was attacking him, he never killed it. He just kept it away.
And it was funny because, he could kill like a bunch of people in that movie and I'd be like, yeah. And then like every time he went to like, you thought he was going to kill the dog, I'd be like, oh no. Oh, don't kill the dog.
It's a good boy.
Yeah. He's just doing what he's trained to do. So, but yeah, that's true. And then like he does have a moment later on where he's kind of like, listen, I am what they say, and I am a rapist, and I am, I have been a bad person. But
like you notice, like in the first one, he says he's obviously heel, and he says there is no God.
Yeah.
And then this one, he tells a little girl there is a God, basically, but God is fair. Like he's kind of redeemed himself. You can tell his life. He's turning things around.
Yeah.
No more raping.
Yeah. Right. And like with this girl, he didn't kill or he didn't kidnap her. I think if I remember right, her parents kind of abandoned her. And so, yeah, like, it was pretty interesting. I still gonna think he's a bad guy. Like, you got a long way to go to redeem yourself. You can't just say I'm redeemed now and then your lifelong pursuit of raping and stuff just goes away. That doesn't happen,
Once a rapist. I did. Did you watch the post credits?
No. I don't know if I did or didn't. Was there a post-credit scene?
Yeah.
Dang. I don't think I
The
did.
blind man lives.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I should have known because there was a post-credit scene in the first one.
Well, basically everything, the aftermath of the movie, the big fight scene at the end,
Mm-hmm.
and he's done for, and the dog comes out to, yeah,
I did see that. And then like the hand is like,
his hand moves. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, yeah, I did see that. So
But I did make a list of, I'm just throwing them out there. See if you like them.
okay.
Potential Don't Breathe 3 sequel titles.
Okay. All right.
All right.
All right. I'm ready.
Okay. How about this one? Don't Breathe 3 Old Daredevil.
Old man Daredevil.
Like Logan. But
Yeah.
when that, all of a sudden it's it's Murdoch, like the whole, anyway.
Murdoch, and he's embraced murder and the other stuff. Okay.
How about Don't Breathe 3? This guy needs to move into a better neighborhood.
He does. He's like in the Chicago neighborhood that's abandoned, right?
Yeah, well, I think it's Detroit. It's Chicago or Detroit. But he, how does your whole house burn down and nobody checks on you?
Yeah, and like the one cop that comes through,
Like he needs to get a better realtor.
You're right. But I mean, I get the feeling he wants to be left alone, right? But I guess
That's true.
But I guess he probably wants to be close enough to town to get supplies. I don't know, because you would think he'd be like he'd go up to the mountains or something, not like some shitty little neighborhood that probably doesn't even get septic service or
good Wi-Fi.
Yeah, definitely no Wi-Fi. So
how about Don't Breathe 3 Helen Killer?
Oh yes, I like it. Do you think so? Would we recast? Would we go with a female strong lead in this movie?
Maybe that's his love interest. I don't know.
Oh,
I can't come up with all the ideas. I'm just spitballing.
Okay.
How about Don't Breathe 3? Remember that time that chick snowballed me?
I know that I and probably he is trying to forget that completely. That to me, like, I've seen so many horror things in movies, but that I was like, yeah, no, hell no. I reject that one though. That's the one. All the others I'm cool with.
All right.
Is that it? That's the end of the list.
That's it. Oh, hey. I should have said. And finally,
99% of those were great though. I'm excited about the next.
Not the snowballing though.
Yeah, I feel like that they probably aren't going to recreate that scene anytime soon. They shouldn't because it was just so like ugh, I don't know. So gross. So anyway, all right. So, okay. Before we get out of here, I want to kind of do a deep cuts. We haven't done deep cuts in a while. And it's movies that people probably haven't heard of, seen in a while, and we just reminisce. So that's what we're going to do. So the movie that we talked about, Malignant, the James Wan movie, reminded me a lot of and believe it or not, there were 3 of them. I didn't realize that one of them came out like in the late 2000s or early 2000s. But do you remember Basket Case?
We talked about this. I remember it. I remember scenes from it, but I cannot remember I can't remember anything about it. Like the plot.
Well, so like there's this guy who also has like a growth type thing. And in this movie, he has it removed. He has it cut off, and he keeps it in like a basket. And
but it's like it's evil.
Yes, it's murderous. It's
evil Quado. Yeah.
And so it's one of these campy, ridiculous horror movies where it doesn't make sense that this big meat wad is like, hey, I'm gonna kill everybody. But it's you know, it is what it is. I can't even say that they were good movies because they're just one of those things that like I watched when I was young, and like somebody older was like, you got to watch these, and I was like, these are cool. And then like I don't know if I need to watch them ever again. I do remember in the second movie, the two little basket case, like there was another one. There was like a female one now, and they were like bumping uglies. And so, yeah, in their little baskets.
Baskets are rocking.
Yeah, yeah. So nasty. So, but so, does that bring back any memories for you? Like,
I can definitely see the comparison. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So,
is that you chiming or me?
And now I think unfortunately for everybody listening and watching, it's my Facebook. I forgot to close it, and so somebody's ruining our show by messaging me. So, which we're about done anyway. I just wanted to kind of bring that one up. So like if people hadn't seen it, I think it was from like 1982 was like the first movie that came out. Let's see, I had it pulled up here. Yeah, 1982. And so it just it's got to be one of those movies that you don't watch it to be scared. You just watch it to kind of have a good time. Like you said, maybe smoke on the devil's lettuce. That'd probably be recommended. I'm pretty sure the guy who showed it to me was. I was just too young to partake.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's just acting funny.
Yeah. He thought it was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so anyway. Well, all right. Nugs for Ratu. It's time for me to get out of here. I have some videotapes to return.
I'll be right back.